Hey everyone, yeah, welcome back. Good to see you again. You're looking well. Grab a seat up front and get yourself comfortable. We're going to get started. Because yes, there's a show. It's all been happening and now you want to know. But before we can start, we must begin with hello. My name is Sean, your host and fellow. Now grab hold your beverage, your mind just as quick. We're building up for our best sip. So join me now for the greatest pleasure, where we unwind this world together. It's time now. It's time for the sip. Let's do it now. Let's do it quick. Go! Ah, delicious. Well, a would-be thief broke into a house in Brisbane and helped himself to whatever he could find. He then got hungry mid-robbery, and instead of leaving quickly, he decided to order himself a Domino's pizza using the homeowner's phone and Wi-Fi. He even gave the delivery address as the house he was currently burgling. The delivery driver showed up, noticed the place looked a bit off, and called the police. Cops arrived while the thief was still munching on his Hawaiian pizza. He got arrested mid-bite, still wearing the homeowner's slippers. Police later joked that it was the most expensive pizza delivery in Australian history. I wonder if he gave the driver a tip. Well, I think you must have heard about the excitement at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night. Cole Thomas Allen from Torrance in California rushed a security checkpoint armed with a shotgun, handgun, and multiple knives. Allen left behind writings described as a manifesto, expressing anger at the Trump administration. He targeted admin officials and prioritized by rank and criticized policies like actions in Iran, strikes on the drug boats, and deportations, and also referred to himself in terms like friendly federal assassin. That sounds like a nice chap. Allen was arrested at the scene and is expected to face federal charges, initially including using a firearm in a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer, and more charges are possible. He's slated for arraignment on the 27th of April, which is sometime today. He sounds like a very left-leaning character, an engineer with a master's degree in computer science and an amateur video game developer. No doubt he will be conditioned that Trump is the bad man, and eventually he felt like he had to take things into his own hands. It's just part of that left TDS derangement syndrome that we see over and over again at the moment. So all in all, the security perimeter did its job. All the people in the room were safe, and they were still a bit too far away from him to be targeted directly. So Secret Service still took precaution of evacuating cabinet members and their spouses, and ultimately the event was cancelled due to security protocol. This has brought up the issue of having a secure venue of sorts, for these kind of events. The White House ballroom has been pitched for that kind of task. And it does seem strange that there isn't already something available like this, that's easy to reach and has, the necessary facilities, given that part of politics is hosting dignitaries fairly regularly. The fact it could be made extremely secure doesn't seem like a bad thing to me. If anything, nowadays, it's a very necessary step to take. So I'm in favour of the ballroom. I think it seems to make sense to me. From the reports, it sounds like it'll be a couple of years to build anyway, so Trump will be out of office by the time it's completed. So we'll see. Things can still change. MPs vote on whether Starmer faces Mandelson ethics inquiry, and that's on Monday. Speaker Lindsay Hoyle granted a request for a debate on referring Prime Minister Keir Starmer to the Privileges Committee, with MPs set to vote on Tuesday on the investigation concerning Peter Mandelson's vetting as a UK ambassador. The Prime Minister faces accusations of misleading Parliament by claiming due process occurred during Mandelson's appointment, assertions contradicted last week by former Foreign Office Permanent Secretary Sir Ollie Robbins, who alleged that there was constant pressure regarding the vetting. Testimony from Morgan McSweeney and Sir Philip Barton before the Foreign Affairs Committee on Tuesday will examine the vetting row, providing evidence that Mandelson was deemed a borderline case for clearance. So there seems to be multiple question marks over the appointment. Many checks did flag up potential issues. They do appear to have been raised with Keir Starmer, but the appointment went ahead anyway. Reports suggest that Mandelson has received numerous high-level intelligence reports already, even without the clearance. But he also has a number of other appointments too, so some of those may have granted him the necessary clearance. This Mandelson episode is one of Keir's most difficult moments because it goes against what he claims are facts. It seems to be getting a little bit worse the longer it goes on, so it's not surprising to see this moving to the next level. His opponents are jumping on the chance because there's almost no way that Keir would call an early election considering his party's current majority mandate. So, yeah. And that kind of brings me to the end of my notes on this one. It is a little bit short today. As you can see, I'm in a slightly different setting. So, I'm in the same place, but just a different chair. That's because I'm just in the process of moving. But I will leave you with one final thought, and that is, if you are planning a move, start working early because it will make the actual moving days much easier to manage. Meow. Hello. I think somebody wants to go outside.